Everything in SaaS is changing, especially with AI. The way we build products, the way we architect products, the way we deliver products, but more importantly, the way we market and sell AI products is fundamentally different than how you sold traditional SaaS products. So in this episode, I'm going to walk you through the 3 principles that you absolutely need to know on how to actually communicate the value of your AI product. And when you implement one of these principles, you will be able to revamp your go-to-market strategy, and you'll be able to accelerate your path to that next stage of growth for your AI product. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you grow your SaaS businesses faster with an unstoppable strategy. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics from the trenches on how to grow your SaaS business faster. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon where you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode with the TK energy. Now, if you're already part of this community, if you're part of my SaaS go-to-market coaching program, my people, welcome back. It's really awesome to see you over here. Now, about a year ago, when ChatGPT was still fresh in people's minds and AI was top of mind, you could just actually go out there and say, we're an AI SaaS company, and you'd get a lot of attention. Fast forward to today, people have become a little numb to the word AI. They've been overpromised and underdelivered, and right now, buyers just don't know what's real and what's not, and what's actually gonna have an actual impact to their business when they're buying business software. So as I looked at all the successful SaaS companies out there that have delivered on AI products that are actually succeeding in the market, I noticed some patterns in how they communicate the value of what they do. Just saying AI isn't enough anymore. It may work with investors because there's a frenzy for investing in AI companies, but for customers, for them to actually buy your AI product, you need to do better. So in this episode, I'm going to walk you through the 3 principles that you absolutely need to know on how to communicate the value of your AI product. And that'll feed into your go-to-market strategy and help you actually accelerate your growth. I'm excited to dig into principle number 1. Go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's dig right into it. Principle number 1, and this is probably the most common that I'm seeing, is for SaaS products that have AI features and essentially AI products to position themselves as a co-pilot. My favorite way of thinking of these is to think of them as the Iron Man suit for average humans. You think about a user of an average SaaS product, but when you start to add AI features, it actually gives them an Iron Man suit. It gives them superpowers. It gives them the ability to do tasks that they weren't able to do before thanks to AI. That's super powerful because right now, business owners, buyers are not ready to hand over entire functions to random agents and automations and AI that's under a black box and say, yeah, here's a critical business process. I'm going to fire this person and you can run it. They're not quite ready to do all of that yet. But being able to go in and say, hey, we are an AI product. We're a co-pilot to these type of users and we give them these superpowers and this is the type of result that we can deliver because of that and these are the things that they're going to be able to do. All of a sudden that sells really, really well. So principle number 1 is to consider if you can position your AI product as more of a co-pilot because people will understand that and trust that and be more likely to buy from you. The second type of way I'm seeing AI products position themselves is as a prediction engine. I think of this as the Oracle play. The Oracle play is where you can go into business and say, look, you are a manufacturing company. You need to figure out and predict exactly what's going to happen with your costs or your supply chain or risks in the supply chain. In order to do that, we have an entire prediction engine. We'll tap into all the data that you have. We'll work with the data analysts that you have in the team, and we'll give them superpowers, and we'll actually deliver better predictions than anyone else in the company. This is super powerful because essentially what you're doing is you're tapping into the data that they have, you're using your AI models to predict what's going to happen, and you're communicating that. This is actually working really well because buyers don't have to risk their existing workflows. They're just looking at the predictions as an additional input into their decision-making process. So it's a relatively lower risk instead of moving over entire business functions to your AI engine that's a black box. Now, one of the caveats that I've seen in the market, especially for prediction companies, is you have to still be able to show the work. If you have an AI product that's doing predictions, you still have to be able to explain why you got to that prediction. What are some of the weightings that you use? What are some of the inputs that you use? And what are some of the considerations that you use to drive to a certain prediction? It's not enough just to say predict yes or no or up and down. You actually have to explain it. And that's one of the requirements for these type of AI products. The third principle that I'm seeing with successful AI companies is entire automation engines. Now, this is a little bit caveated. You're not going in and saying, we're going to automate this entire human's job. What you're saying is, look, for this entire workflow that you have in the organization, we're going to take a subset of it and completely automate it. This is subtly different than the co-pilot where the human being is actually operating the AI model. In this scenario, you're actually just letting it run on its own for a specific part of the workflow in the business. And these type of AI companies are doing really well. One of the best examples is in the customer success and customer service space where AI agents and automated agents are going in and taking over and solving entire customer tickets before it ever gets to a human. Whereas there are other offerings where it's more of a co-pilot where it helps existing humans answer customer questions in a better way. So that's this subtle distinction. One of the coolest parts about this is there is an inherent pecking order emerging in these type of AI companies. Co-pilots tend to be the cheapest. Right now, GitHub Copilot goes for $9 a month and it helps you write bug-free code, which is incredible, or at least that's one of the promises. Predictions charge a little bit more because the impact to the business could be enormous. If you can accurately predict supply chain issues or costs or avoid risks, you can charge for that value and charge a lot more than just a co-pilot. And then automations, which are replacing subsets of work that humans were originally paid for and maybe couldn't do as well, are charging the highest. So there's a natural pecking order of what type of AI product you're positioning yourself as and how much you can charge. One of the coolest things about AI is it's so fast changing. But these three words, co-pilot, predictions, automations, these are keywords that buyers are getting trained on. So if you position your AI product in terms of one of these keywords, customers will be able to understand the actual value of your product. Instead of just saying, we're an AI software company for manufacturing companies. It's like, well, what does that mean? You might as well just say you're a software company. Every software company is going to become an AI company. And that's the power in this. So let's recap. The first way you can position your AI product is to communicate that you are a co-pilot. The second way you can do it is to communicate that you are a prediction engine. And the third way you can do it is you are an automation engine. And maybe this automation piece will evolve into entire agents that actually does replace humans. Not quite there yet, but that's where we're headed. So now you know exactly how to communicate the value of your AI product in this very noisy space. What you may not know is, all right, TK, now that I'm saying, okay, I'm a co-pilot, instead of just saying we're an AI company and no one's paying attention, how do I communicate this value? How do I actually mobilize this message? How do I craft this so I can really tie it to a business outcome? And this is where the rest of the pieces of a proper go-to-market strategy comes together. And interestingly enough, while some pieces are fundamentally different, like how you communicate the value of AI, other pieces are just the same. For example, on how you run a proper go-to-market strategy. So if you're in this space where you're trying to position your AI product in the market, you're trying to differentiate yourself from the other competitors, you're also trying to deal with customers that just don't quite trust AI yet, but you still want them to buy, this is where a proper go-to-market strategy comes in. So if you're at that point where you are building the go-to-market strategy for your AI product, this is how I help inside my SaaS go-to-market coaching program. Inside of this program, I work on 3 core pillars for you. The first pillar is building out your ideal customer profile. Your ideal customer profile defines exactly who can use your AI product and specifically why it's perfectly relevant for them. Everyone thinks they have an ICP until they work with me. Once we flesh out your ICP, it actually gives you clarity on exactly who you're serving and what their needs are. Once you have that, then we take some of these pieces like, are you an automation, a co-pilot, or a prediction engine, and we actually build out your strategic narrative. I call that your manifesto. Your manifesto is how you communicate the true value and the transformation you're bringing to an organization. Just like before, no one wakes up and just wants to buy more software. And just like today, they don't just want to add more AI that adds risk to the business. What they want is an actual transformation. They want actual problems to be solved. And that's how we communicate that through a proper manifesto. A manifesto, when done right, actually communicates the transformation you're bringing to the business, the value proposition, and how you position yourself in the market compared to the competitors. It's incredibly powerful. Once you have those 2 pieces, the ICP and the manifesto, you essentially have a go-to-market strategy for your AI product. Then comes the third step. That's your Broadway show. The Broadway show is a consistent set of sales and marketing activities that you run to bring this differentiated message to your ideal customers on a consistent basis, where you can educate them about this transformation they can have in their business using your AI product, and then you can actually get them to purchase from you as you build that trust. It is an incredible program. I've worked with so many founders inside of this program, and actually, interestingly, I've worked with AI companies before AI became the coolest thing, which is really cool. And this is where I got to these insights on how to actually position and message and deploy the go-to-market strategy for AI products. So if you want to work together, just go to tkkader.com/GTM. tkkader.com/GTM, and you'll get all the details. The better the fit, the better the results. So all you have to do if you want to work together is just fill out a little form and book a call with us. We'll ask you some questions about where you are. If it's a fit, we'll be off to the races right away. Within 3 weeks of joining the program, you will have a revamped go-to-market strategy. You can start testing it in the market, and then I'll support you after that for up to 12 months as well. It's an incredible program, so just go to tkkader.com/GTM for all the details, and I'll also link to it below. If you got value from this video, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It just loves it when you do that. So do we. We put a lot of love into these videos. Also, if you have a co-founder, if you have a fellow founder that would get value from this video, please share this video with them. We want to help as many SaaS founders as possible, especially in this really incredible time where SaaS is truly changing. It's one of those platform shifts, and so many rules will get rewritten, so many principles will get reapplied, and I'm here for it, and I'm really excited for it, and that's where I'm taking this channel next. Also, I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics from the trenches on how to grow your SaaS business faster. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. That way you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I'll see you in the next episode or inside the SaaS go-to-market coaching program. Just follow the link below or just go to tkkader.com/GTM for details. Take care, everybody.